You better get your riddle together, Pop.
Here's the riddle, okay? If you want to work at PayPal in 2006 or whatever the fuck it was. Okay. There's a circular table. We're going head to head. We each have to place a quarter.
I was thinking about last night when you said, why aren't iPads circles?
Wait. Is the table square?
Welcome to the Smart Nonsense Podcast. We talk about entrepreneurship, self-development, challenging norms. Pop's lips are blue. Go watch this on YouTube. You weren't ready for that. I just jumped right in. I just flipped the switch, turned it on.
It helps when you have 2.5 cups of coffee in one can.
No, dude, I crashed mid-Jack Butcher call. What was that? In the best way. Hey, we're going to talk about it. We just got off the phone with Jack Butcher. I'm back, baby. I was drinking a super cold brew, caffeine and L-theanine, 250 milligrams of caffeine, bold and smooth. You got to take it away, Pop.
I can't sleep for some reason. I doubt I'll be able to sleep tonight. I'm going to have a brain blast later once I internalize what just happened. I had some topics earlier.
What you got?
I had a riddle. You want to do a riddle?
Hit me.
Okay.
I have a topic.
Well, I'm reading this Peter Thiel book, the one that just came out, and it's I don't
What's
know
it called?
what the fuck it's called. Hey, what do you think? I prepped for this? I don't know. It came out like a week ago. It's talking all about the Contrarian. It's called the Contrarian.
I was gonna say
So you know I'm gonna buy a
1
book
to 2.
that's called the Contrarian. He's very similar to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Peter Thiel. I'm a god. How about that? he models himself after me. No, he's just like, he doesn't put up with the bullshit. He has more Asperger's, but
Fuck yeah.
I don't know. It's just cool hearing his story.
I'm like Jeff Bezos. He's like me.
Fuck yeah. So I'm not going to talk about the book or anything because I can't speak, but I'm going to talk about this riddle. So This is something because he was, I think he went to Stanford Law and undergrad. And actually, I tried to buy his book that he did with Sachs.
They did the newspaper
multiculturalism at Stanford. They're like the big conservatives at Stanford, and they all happen to crush it. But okay, he went to New York, worked on big law firms, and then my brain is trying to work.
I like going to New York and working on big law firms.
All right, so he takes some of the interview questions from there and brings them back to PayPal when he started that.
You know what happens when we do a riddle on the air, right? My brain shuts down and then the podcast ends.
If I can even phrase the riddle right, let me see if I remember it. I wasn't really preparing to do this.
Wait, we had a quote we had to do today. Something about self-development.
Oh, I got one of those too. Yeah. I don't know. Did I save that somewhere?
It's just optimizing for long term. That's all self-development
spoil it.
is.
How about that? Okay. All right. It was nice and all. Did I send it to you as a picture?
No, you read it out loud.
Not to you though.
No. Yes, to me. You better get your riddle together, Pop.
Here's the riddle, okay? If you want to work at PayPal in 2006 or whatever the fuck it was. Okay. There's a circular table. You and I, we're going head to head. We each have to place a quarter.
I was thinking about last night when you said, why aren't iPads circles?
Wait. Is the table square?
And then you wandered to your room.
Square.
And you went to bed.
Let me see if it makes sense.
Hey,
let's say the table's square.
All right.
I'm taking a risk there. I don't remember if it's square. I'm trying to do the math in my head. I think it checks out. Okay, the table is square. Or was it a circle? No, the table's a circle.
Okay,
we're locked in. Table is a circle. We have quarters, okay? The game is this. You place a quarter on the table. You can't stack them. So it's only like one layer of quarters.
Okay.
Now, the person whose quarter falls off the table first, like there's no more space on the table for the quarter, they lose.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That's like the arcade game. You know, it's just like pushing
Right.
coins.
Hey, that is fun. It's kind of like that, but you're placing them.
And you don't want to fall off the edge.
Right.
Okay.
The question is, do you go first or second?
And you switch off?
Yeah, like I'll place one, then you place one, then I'll place one, then you place one.
Do you go first or second?
Yeah.
Does it at all depend on the like radius of the table, radius of the coin?
It kind of fucks with that stuff.
I bet it do. So you're going to make me do it on the air, huh?
You want to answer? Hey, this is one of the... Hey, pause the video if you don't want to answer.
Is it like simple when it comes down to it? Is it always?
It feels. It's one of those where it's intuitive once you. Well, I don't even. It just feels right. I don't know the actual math behind it.
I feel like it has to do with the radius of the quarter in proportion to the radius of the table you're on. If it's like 1/10, what's the answer, Pop?
The answer. Well, 2 questions. Where would you put the quarter?
Oh, you could put it anywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, that changes things. See, I thought we were just like putting them near the middle, and then a bunch of time goes on, and quarters are sliding.
The table don't move.
So it starts with, where do you put the quarter?
Yeah.
I'll say in the center. I'll just say in the center.
Okay. Hey, you got it. You want to go first? Put it in the center. And then every time that they move, you just mirror it.
Okay.
Because as long as you mirror, it's going to be good. And if they have a spot, then you're going to have a spot on the other side.
So we can go work at PayPal now?
Yeah, I think so. They're doing pretty well. They shouldn't have sold that bitch. They sold it when it was like worth $1 billion. Now it's like $100 and something billion, I think.
Hell yeah.
That's not why we're here. I hope we didn't lose too many people with that stupid riddle. What we want to talk about is this riff that we just had with Jack Butcher of Visualize Value. A stud. We copied his style. That's how we cracked the code with Naval.
Let me hit you with the smart nonsense first. We're going to tease it because anyone who's still here, they got to, if they want to know what Jack Butcher's like, they got to stick around.
Dude.
I'm sorry. I had this idea in the shower today. It's related to Smart Nonsense Media. We need like a consistency coach. Because we're working with Sam and Sean, right? I've stepped out. They post their own. We deliver. They post their own clips. They never post them. All I did was go in and be like, "Are y'all posting?" And then Sean posted them.
Right.
I don't know. It's just
accountability
thought,
coach.
Yeah, we just need like an accountability coach to be like, "MFM, did you post? All in, did you post?"
You'd think the incentives would be there, but they're not paying out of pocket.
That's
so
right.
There's no skin in the game really for them. It's just opportunity cost. It's just like they're fucking it up by not posting. I don't know. The clips are dope. That's not the reason, or it doesn't seem like that should be the reason.
Thought they're dope.
So Jack Butcher.
Let's do it. He had a lot of ideas, Pop.
Yeah. So how did we get connected with Jack Butcher? One, we had seen Visualize Value like a year plus ago when he first got into Twitter, and instantly dope. He's always been posting the wisest words on the internet. He would turn them into visuals. Visualize Value.
Arbitrage. He described it as such.
Kind of. Yeah, I guess it's not his original ideas. He's just repackaging.
Smart.
Super dope. Dude's been crushing it, making millions off of, or well, he's made well over his normal business of Visualize Value, which is like selling courses for the most part. He's made much more just from NFTs. So we came into this call. Well, actually, fuck. Okay. Let me talk about how we got in the call. We heard about him a year ago. I talked to Brandon Zhang, who was his intern, basically. And that was a boring as fuck conversation. But
we
fine. We like got super into the idea of Visualize Value. In maybe March, I referenced March. I don't remember exactly when it was. Nivi, who's Naval's sidekick, reached out. Hey, can you do a Naval edit for us? We tried, but we did like the Mimi version and it sucked and it wasn't on brand. And we're like, hey, we're going to try Visualize Value, but we don't have an editor that knows how to do it yet. Flash forward.
That's funny because at the time it was like the least Mimi shit we had done, the highest quality stuff we were most proud of.
Right.
At the time.
Shut it down, so
it's just really interesting.
We evolve very fast with a lot of iterations. That's why we preach them. So we finally cracked the code with Nico, an amazing editor on our team. He knows how to do it. He can do it from conceptualizing to actually animating. Beautiful dude. We get connected.
Beautiful dude.
Inside and out. And so we start editing Naval. Our first 2 edits have gotten, both on Twitter alone, over 100,000 views. Fucking sick. It's all starting to point back to us. Actually, Naval, he likes the shit so much. He's not just retweeting smart nonsense.
No.
He's posting them as if it's himself, which all the other people doing his content, it wasn't, or this is our theory, it wasn't on brand enough for him to claim it as his own.
You understand, listener. This means Dylan Jardin is logging into Twitter as Naval Ravikant and posting our clips. That's nuts.
All right, about to tweet out to Naval's 1.4 million followers our video here. Fuck, here we go.
Hello world, here's my ball sack.
He is like Twitter philosophical clear thinker Silicon Valley guru.
Right. And we have access to his
Dad,
we can post on his
password?
Twitter. I don't have I just have his media studio.
Oh, okay.
So I can't physically, like, that would actually be
Oh,
dangerous.
I thought you were in his profile.
No one has
Okay.
access to that. I asked.
Thank God.
Yeah. That's why I can't credit ourselves, because I can't post the second
Oh,
tweet.
okay. That's what I thought
Regardless,
last night.
Jack's also in this WhatsApp group of people that do Naval's content or Naval wants to share. So we have this little creator hub. Jack's like, oh, y'all are doing sick shit. And we're like, yeah, we like you too. And he's like, would you want to do something for our podcast? Not investment advice. I'm like, maybe. This is our rule book. And he's like, oh, that's kind of like, I don't know. That doesn't make sense for us right now just because we're expensive as fuck. And I don't know. It's just like a for fun podcast that they do. So we're like, yo, let's still riff on this plus NFTs because you're crushing it in NFTs. I think we could do, like, you just do visuals right now that are static images for the most part. Can we come in and add animation to your NFTs, or maybe there's some other collaboration? Because we have scale. We have scale and the video element that he doesn't have. So like, maybe we can talk about this.
And to paint a picture, like, he's getting 5 to 10 grand, upwards of 250 grand on these NFTs. Like, what are we missing here?
Right. So we get in, and you want to describe what happens? Paint
I
the
blacked
picture.
out, Pop.
Okay.
I blacked out.
Well,
I know he had wet hair.
He comes on his phone because he's just moving to a new apartment. I'm not going to disclose his location, but he's in a new place. He doesn't
know
really
too
have
much.
Wi-Fi.
We know way too much about people.
I like it. So we get on. He's like wet hair. He just had a kid like 6-7 months ago. So he's kind of got a lot going on. But his wife calls, needs some shit, whatever. We finally get settled. We get settled and right into it. Right? Like the first thing, we're like, hey, dude, we figured we'd talk about like your podcast, maybe some NFTs.
It's like, whoa, stop right. I have an idea.
The first thing we talk about, he's like, I have an idea. And we're like, okay, an idea. We always have our expectations pretty low.
Right.
We weren't thinking.
Everyone's got an idea when it comes to video and
Right.
clips and YouTube videos. And
Describe the idea if you want to. I don't know if your brain was working back then.
no, my brain's still not really working. But the idea is, so you have to understand, Jack comes from an advertising background. He's
Right.
like, guys, I can see it crystal clear. You're in the middle of the market right here. Why don't you just be the market makers? Why don't you just, you've got all these podcasts that want your clips. A lot of them don't want to pay you that much. You've also got a lot
Or can't. Not
or
that they
can't.
don't want to.
or can't, right? You've also got a lot of big players, corporations like HubSpot Network, maybe Microsoft, Squarespace, whoever. It's like, match those people up. Work with the corporations, sell them a sponsorship package, and then they just slap their name on the clips you make. So they're paying for your creators to have clips.
Right.
Like,
And they
oh,
get.
so that's how you make $250,000 in a phone call.
Dude, I mean, it's one of those like, okay, this is perfect because who's like, whenever Joe Rogan, I'm listening to his podcast, I just skip through that shit.
Yeah.
Those don't actually work, or maybe they do, but it's hard to track. But if you're like, hey, we're gonna take the best part of each podcast, and then HubSpot slaps their little logo on the bottom right of each clip, or they have sponsored by
Brought to you by,
HubSpot
powered
at
by.
the start or the end, probably at the end. Then it's like, that's so sick for them. Plus they get diversity of, they can sponsor multiple podcasts all at once in the same niche. Or they're like, hey, you guys are in this niche. We only want to sponsor the ones about NFTs.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, beautiful. And all we have to do is talk to all these podcasts and be like, hey, do you want clips?
For free.
For free. They're paying for them. It's a no-brainer. And then we just arbitrage the middle.
It's and Jack's like, yeah, dude, when I was at an advertising firm, he's like, they just throw eye-watering amounts of money at stupid media projects that don't work, they don't convert, no one's clicking, there's no way to track them. Stupid amounts of money. So it's like, we have all these potential clients who groan over paying 15 grand a month. What if they didn't pay and we just went kind of B2B with the money side of things?
Right. Free clips.
You know how fast we could fill up the kind of creator side?
Free clips.
And then on top of that, like you said, you kind of scrub through the ads on podcasts. It's like,
You don't scrub through a clip
you don't scrub through a
because
clip.
they're so good that they're meant to keep you engaged.
Oh, right.
A podcast is an hour conversation. It's not meant to, like, you're not entirely focused the whole time. And then when you hear the ad, you can skip it. So it doesn't make sense. And plus, this was kind of what I was saying before, sort of what we were trying to do of bring this $15,000 down to $5,000 is because a lot of these creators, they don't know how to monetize.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
They might have the audience, but how do they pay for it? Well, we solve that problem. We'll do all the negotiations. You just come in here, take the free clips. Just as long as you're cool with having this little sponsor, which you're already doing. Every creator, for the most part, has some sponsor, whether it's like Audible or
Squarespace,
whatever it might be.
BetterHelp.
Every podcaster is already open to accepting sponsorships because that's the only way that they really know how to make money outside of merch.
Oh, so would we have to pay them a little bit from that sponsorship?
No,
They just want
they
free
get
clips.
free clips.
They get free clips. Dude, that's so brilliant. Jack was, I mean, the entirety of the call was Jack ideating about essentially different vehicles we can use to deliver our clips. He's like, even in the NFT space.
Wait, why didn't we realize this? Okay, sorry to cut you off, but he's our perfect consultant or advisor in the sense that, dude, he's the creative that became the businessman that now just loves ideating, creating all these brilliant fucking ideas, working with the best people. He's like exactly what we're looking, because normally we work with people that don't understand the advertising side or the advertising, marketing, and creative side. He was created there. That's where he came from.
He wanted to create a product like this, but
Right.
he didn't have
He
the
didn't want to
talent
scale.
to edit
team.
it, edit the content, or manage the team.
Sorry to cut you off. NFTs.
Well, he's just talking about different. So our thing with NFTs is like, well, we don't have the brand. We didn't have the personal brand to deliver those things and make a bunch of money on them. But there are other vehicles we can use. We're essentially like in the startup scene, we're like the software developers. We're technical.
Right.
So Seth Godin's got a book. Pop's lounging. Seth Godin's got a book.
My back hurts.
Seth Godin can go to a publisher and be like, give me $100,000 and we're going to do this clip project, NFT project, where these guys do a clip for each chapter and we mint that. And
hey,
it's just
no,
another
it's
vehicle.
really funny. Okay, thinking about this. Brilliant. No rules. Our team, they don't want to read the whole book. We're like, let's just do the super entertaining 5-minute version, highly animated clip that's like, I have to watch this. And then that's meant to promote the actual, instead of promoting the full podcast, we're promoting the full book.
There's so many angles. So what do you do? Is
Well-
your thought like bring someone like Jack in, or just kind of keep him close as a mentor, or work together?
Part of it is like, he's clearly exploring some of the space himself. Because he was talking, I'm not sure how much of this is top secret, but like, let's just keep it vague. Like, he's talking about the idea of courses for schools. I think that's okay saying. Basically, like courses for universities or whatever, just distilling a lot of their lessons. That could be a semester-long course. How do you do that in like, I don't know, an hour of amazing content-dense videos? So maybe like images in his case, but maybe we collab and have videos as an element there. So I'm thinking, one, just kind of having this constant contact where he thinks of us whenever he's
Right.
like, oh, I want to do videos in my style. Let me work with Smart Nonsense. And so that's why we're like, oh, maybe we got to have the team see who on the team could do Nico's style. But he's also like, hey, having a Nico where he gets the creative and can execute, that's hard to find.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe another crazy idea he had, because we were just ideating for almost an hour. He's like, well, what if it was, what if you went, because you're in Twitter space, what if you take all the proven content? Because right now you're working with podcast clips and it's hard to spend a lot of money if you don't know the content is going to hit. Let's take all the content we know hits, which is kind of what happened with Nick Sharma, for example, where he's like, can you take my viral threads and turn them into clips? I'm like, oh, maybe that's our fucking company. We make your viral threads clips. Okay, just fucking thinking of these things now. But he's like, do that, and maybe you can do it yourself, or there's some sort of marketplace of you have people that can visualize this and then people that can actually execute. Like you have the animators that execute on the visuals, which is a little bit more micromanagey, but it does make sense because we've had so much difficulty having our own team do visualized value for Naval, but they're phenomenal animators. So just niche down. They focus on animating whatever the sort of Hassan, like, oh, here's the drawing, the sketch of what it should look like. And boom. Because Jack was like, oh, we have all these people that took our visualized value course, which teaches you how to visualize value. Let's just take those 1,000, whatever, however many people, 3,000 people, whatever it is. And hey, you're gonna work with these animators, and that's the business and some cool marketplace there. Where I think, well, I was thinking, if you're anyone on Twitter, you have a viral thread, it's almost like a Fiverr for this specific niche of, you're like, oh, here's my thread, who can visualize it? And everyone submits, maybe there are like 10 submissions from all people visualizing it, and they're like, oh, I want to go with that one. Or like, we record in like a smart nonsense way this Twitter thread and then just turn it into a clip and we post it on our own channel. Like, because I think we need our own brand. Jack clearly has his own brand.
Definitely need our own brand.
But it would be cool if, oh, his niche was like doing images in this black and white. What if we did just the fucking goofy us riffing on a thread and then turn it into a clip? I don't want to necessarily do that because I think that's difficult to scale, but it's just like fun ideas to play with.
Yeah.
And the marketplace is always beautiful because that's more scalable in general.
The visualized value marketplace where,
well, it could be
those artists are paired with a motion graphic animator. What marketplace?
I don't know, because it's kind of like there are multiple sides of this marketplace, because there's like the visualizer, the person that's buying like has the thread, and there's also the animator, so it's kind of like a 3-sided. That's kind of fucking tricky. I don't know, but clearly we have access to amazing animators, and there are a lot of people that want this shit, so maybe it's just the marketplace we scale that.
Well, so what do we do this afternoon now? So, our goal, maybe we keep, so we don't have such bad ADD. What we're building right now is that kind of $5,000 product to reach more creators, realizing they don't need 15 grand worth of content and minutes of clips.
Here's what stuck out to me, and I think we need to talk about more, is evergreen content.
That's right.
Because, okay, getting people, we were talking about this earlier, $500 a clip. Like right now it's about $1,000 a clip. Say it's like up to 60 seconds. We would charge for an on-demand clip like $1,000. Or the slightly dialed back version, that's $500. Both of those, again, for unproven content, it's difficult. Only a select few people can pay. Luckily, we've found most of them.
Right. If you have the marketing budget, you'll do that brand building. But otherwise, it's really just a gamble.
So that's why he's like evergreen content, like curriculums, books, whatever. That's...
Oh, right. So he was like, podcasting's your vehicle right now. But just as well, you can bring this into courses, books,
it's
trailers.
I think that's what I love about Naval's content, is he said it's time tested, it's proven, it's gonna last forever, and it's just the archive. Like right now we have 3 hours of content to take 20-second clips from. That's infinite content for Nico. He'll work a lifetime doing that.
Right.
So if
Holy
we have the
smokes.
treasure trove, it's just like, let's go to the top entrepreneurship books, the 10 best ones.
So many of our problems when it comes to consistency is like new podcasts just starting out. Are they going to be okay with getting 400 views? Are they going to be around in 3 months, or did they get tired of shooting? It's like if you go to the time-tested stuff that's already driven value, it's such an easier sell.
Right. So
well, it's a different sell.
And it'd be working with, say, a publisher. It's like, let's say Tim Ferriss's book. There are 20 chapters in it. We're going to make a 60-second visual for each chapter.
But then doesn't it have to be perfect?
That's my concern.
Now we're on like the Netflix special of clips. They're like, we put $150,000 into this thing.
Right. That's why I'm like, ultimately, and Jack asked us about this. He's like, well, what the fuck are your goals?
Yeah.
And I mean, I made my assumption about yours. Mine really just to be in the room with the coolest people and make enough where I don't stress about money.
Right.
I don't think...
Well, see, I would like to make enough where I don't stress about money forever. I don't think you're going to get that from a good salary. You need a good exit.
Yeah, but I think we're already on track for a good exit.
I know. What do you think this is worth? The
company. I was
$10
thinking
million
about that the other day when I was talking to him about like how much we make. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, or I'm like, yeah, in my head, we're multimillionaires. And he's like, yeah, but like the majority of that value is in your ownership stake in the company. Like, as in, like our salaries are relatively nothing. I don't know. At this point, it's got to be at least a few $1 million. I don't know.
And then Shane Mack the other day was like, you guys could, well, this would be raised. He's like, you guys could raise $100 million, no problem.
I don't know if that's true, but maybe in
With
a
the
year
right
or two.
story, he was saying.
Right. Oh, that was for the clip product? I don't know.
That was for, Canva for video.
I don't know. That's why I'm like, I think we said this yesterday, like Sam Parr's playbook, or of he just built a company over, I don't know, in his case, probably longer than I would hope to, but like
6
say
years?
5 years. Yeah, something like that. Then you sell it, make $20 million or whatever he made. And now that's set. And it's the sort of thing where like, I don't really, well, you want, like most people, Dharmesh, for example, he's giving away, well, his wealth is $1 billion. So it's kind of different when you still keep 10% or whatever he wants to keep. But like, you don't want to spoil your kids.
Right.
Like, for example, Misha, she just learned how to use a microwave like the other day, and I can't even say
That's
it.
not right.
Like, she would just eat food cold out of the fridge because she didn't know how to use it.
No.
That's
no,
fucking
no,
crazy to
no,
me.
no.
So you don't want to like spoil your kids to that degree, and you really just want to pay for their college and then like have them be scrappy. So I'm like, we don't really need money for the next generation.
No, that's
necessarily.
completely true. I'm just like, I don't know what our exit is. I don't think we care. I'm just curious.
I think that's Jack's tweet yesterday that I told you about. It's like, make money having fun.
Right.
I'm like, oh, I love that. It's just like,
Well, right.
Having fun is goal number one. Where are we going to have the most fun?
Right. So like we just had the most fun targeting the most fun people we thought at the time. And then you just kind of stumble into this like $10 million thing.
What $10 million thing?
I'm saying if the company's worth $10 million today
Oh.
or to somebody, it's like, whoa.
Yeah, and I think like we're on track to grow it. Like, sure, we can't scale it too much, but I just want to be. I mean, do I want to be? Yeah, I want to be friends with these people. Like, I don't.
But my question was this afternoon. Where do we go? Do we start trying to craft the $250,000 sponsorship pitch? Do you bring Jack on to facilitate that, or Sam to facilitate that deal? And cut him in.
I think we have to talk to Sam.
So like, I'm almost like, you talk to Sam, you're like, hey, you want us to go sell this? Like, we keep building the $5,000 thing. You bring someone in like Sam with that commission. I don't know if money matters to him anymore.
He's a hustler, dude. He loves.
Yeah,
he likes us. He wanted to invest. This is how you invest.
So I'm like, this afternoon we can keep building the $5,000 product as planned for this week, and our shareholder video goes out tomorrow. That'll be fun. We'll talk about it. And I'm like, can we just set Sam Parr loose and see if he can close a $500,000 deal and he gets half of it? Probably have to do it offline. But like, again, I don't know who tweeted it, but it's like, where can we bring in the experts? Like, we just stay in our lane. It's running this crazy ship. Where can you bring in the little Jack Butcher expert to come sell sponsorship? Like, do you want to be in that negotiation?
I don't know shit about negotiating. I just pushed away HubSpot single-handedly in a week of you being gone.
Have Sam do it. Sam's gotten a lot of money out of them. But he doesn't even post our clips.
I'd just be so... Because that's the thing. Okay, the world is content. Jack was saying this, and we've seen this. Sam says this. Everybody says this. HubSpot is throwing so much money at this right now, and they're just one of many companies that is like, media is it. So if we're solving such a big problem,
right? Okay, imagine.
And what I like about that is that we can keep, like, versus going the evergreen content way, which it'll probably be like we can charge more, but unless the rulebook is, I don't think most people, even if they read the rulebook, would be okay with evergreen content being wrong. As in, if there's a mistake in it, they just won't.
Yeah.
But we can sort of keep our like fun, scrappy, iterative nature. Although it does kind of suck, but we're not going to be running it, so we don't have to worry about it as much.
We just got to get the money from someone else, because creators don't have the money. We have the distribution trick still that Call-In needs. We have the distribution trick for the creators and the sponsors.
Right. It's so easy. Yeah, I wonder if there's part of the problem though is like if there's no skin in the game with the creators. Like, oh, here's your clip, and then they don't post them or something like that. Although they probably, if they're good, they should want to post them.
Yeah.
I just love that our sole pitch is, hey, we're going to give you free clips, but it's going to have one of these companies on
Which, like you said, creators are trying to get anyway. They're trying to get these sponsors. So we have the trick.
We're solving. And who knows? Maybe they're like, oh, now that's also a door into this company. They can pay for our actual ads on the full podcast. And we're like, we're bridging the gap.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what I was going to say is, you think HubSpot Podcast Network's throwing around a lot of money. I can't even imagine what Squarespace is putting into advertising on podcasts. It's probably $10 million.
What's interesting, okay, this is interesting. Because we're so deep in VC world, we probably have some first or second order connection or degree connection to any one of these companies.
That's right. Let's hire Sam Parr. He's crazy.
Dude, I wonder what he would say. Hey, Sam.
We want to hire you.
You wanna fucking scrap together?
Let's make him a salesman.
Dude,
let's scrap together.
I want to scrap.
I'm gonna message him. Yo,
hey,
Sam,
you want to scrap?
You trying to scrap together?
Cause a
and
ruckus.
Bring Jack Butcher. He's friends with Jack Butcher.
I know.
I think the four of us should just fucking go ham.
Here's the thing, okay? It's one of those, like, remember when you were starting Dunbar and you're like, I don't really I don't care about equity. I just want to like create something important and make an impact.
Yeah.
Like, they're kind of in the same vibe.
You're saying because I was so willing to
You're willing to give up equity.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of the same way here. I'm like, the value add of Jack and Sam.
I think it's hilarious.
I mean, it's going to talk about bro culture, but fuck, whatever. It would be a fucking hoot. I'm so curious how he'd respond.
I wish I had Slack on my phone. I'd ping him right now. All right, so I think we break here. That was quite a little funky brainstorm. When we come back, Sam Parr will either be here scrapping or not scrapping.
Because he talks about how he wants to do his new shit. I'm so curious if he'd be down to do. I don't know. It might drive us crazy working with him. I have no idea.
Dude, he's really funny. That's it. The only other talking point I had was I got an iPad.
Because he wants to invest, dude. He's been hitting me up. He's like, how do I invest in this shit? And I'm like, we don't need you. But as a fucking hustler. Oh, I like that.
Let's go. Okay. See you tomorrow.